What's up, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. This is your AEW Revolution preview and predictions for the 2023 edition of Revolution. But first, let's get some of the plugins, or the plugs. Let's plug the channel here. Misfit Wrestling Podcast right here on youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below. Follow those social medias, Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, Misfit Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, the other audio outlets, Spotify, Stitcher, audio, not audio, what am I talking about? Stitcher, I said Stitcher already, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and there's another one I'm missing here. Amazon Music. Oh, and the other one. Audible. There it is. I knew it was something there. Anyway, AEW Revolution is going to be on Sunday night. It's going to be not from the Cal Palace, which originally I thought it was going to be, but it's not. San Francisco, California, the Chase Center, March 5th, 2023. The show right now, 8 matches on the show. A little long for a match that's going to go an hour, but we'll talk about that. Let's talk about, we're going to go from the worst, not the worst, the least interested match on the show to the highest match on the show. And right now, are the most interested here. And you're going to be very shocked to realize how little interest I have in the main event. But talk about the least interested match on the show here. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. Jericho Appreciation Society are banned from ringside. All right. I know if I say Ricky Starks wins here and say that this feud's going to end, it probably won't, because Chris Jericho just doesn't know when to stop fucking trying to go after people. Like, I'm kind of over the Chris Jericho feuds at this point. I would not be mad if he went away for a couple months and just not showed up again, because I'm kind of done with the Chris Jericho appreciation. I'm kind of over it, but I'm gonna go with the Ricky Starks here. Ricky Starks needs a win. Chris Jericho does not. What does Chris Jericho gain from beating Ricky Starks? Again, to be fair, what does Ricky Starks gain from beating Jericho again? He's already beat Chris Jericho. I don't know. I just don't care about this match. That's just the thing. Because Chris Jericho's feuds, outside of his run as the Ring of Honor champion, have been shit. I mean, okay, I'll take that back. His first run as Le Champion when he won the AEW Championship. Originally, I was against it because I'm like, oh, it's Hangman. Hangman's their guy. And then I realized why they did it, and it was great and whatnot. But after that, from there, after losing the title to Moxley, and then all the way to him winning the Ring of Honor Championship, I have not given two shits about Chris Jericho. And it's sad because Chris Jericho is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. It's kind of sad at this point. Really, it is. Another match I don't give a shit about, especially after tonight's show on Dynamite, the AEW Tag Team titles in a Fatal 4-Way, because they've decided to, instead of doing a regular tag team match, Tony Khan's like, hey, let's get everybody on the card because apparently everyone deserves it. No, they don't. The Assboys defend. I still can't believe I've said that they're defending their tag team titles that they should have never won in the first place against the Acclaimed, who should not be in this match to begin with, because they lost. And I thought automatic rematches do not apply in AEW, but I guess I was fucking wrong. Taking on Team TNA, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. For some fucking reason, Jeff Jarrett is still a thing in here. And Orange Cassidy and Danhausen wins. And I can tell you right now who's not winning this match. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Just put the titles back on the Acclaim. You ruined the. How do I explain this? You ruined the momentum that they were having by having the Assboys win the titles from the Acclaimed. I didn't even get to talk about this when a few weeks ago because that was the week I got sick, so I didn't get to talk about this. I fucking lost my shit, and not in a good way. Tony Khan has effectively ruined the Acclaimed. Like, they may be over right now, but their momentum is not as over as it was prior to them losing to the Assboys. The Acclaim should absolutely win the titles back. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. Okay, there's that. Moving on. Jamie Hayter defending the three-way. Oh my god, I can't believe I just. Jamie Hayter defending the AEW Women's Championship against Saraya and Ruby Soho. Jamie Hayter should absolutely retain here. Like, Saraya is kind of killing the division slowly, painfully. Killing a division that was already somewhat dead at this point. Okay, actually, I probably shouldn't say that. I really thought that they really were going to change their ways of how the women were booked when they did the Hayter Sheeta match 2 months ago. No, was it 2 months ago? It was 3 months ago at I think it was the Holiday Bash episode. I believe it was the Holiday Bash episode where they had that phenomenal women's championship match between Sheeta and Hayter. By the way, Sheeta's just like fucking disappeared through this whole fucking storyline. I don't know where Sheeta is at. She's gone missing. She's in Japan, obviously. Injured her finger. Whoop-de-fucking-do. we saw what happened with fucking Dijak. He broke a finger. Either dislocated or something. And he still finished the match. And wrestled. I don't know. Anyway. Jamie Hayter should absolutely retain here. There's no reason to take the title off of her. Ruby, they have not really done anything of noteworthy with Ruby Soho for me to care about Ruby Soho, and I really do like Ruby. I really, really do. I stopped caring about Saraya right after her match with Britt Baker because I thought it was not very good. Yeah. So I don't care about that. And they've just thrown together her and Toni Storm as a group. This stupid ass pretending to be the NWO bullshit. So you just ruined Toni Storm after her incredible run as the women's champion. I don't even care that now that I'm hearing that Thunder Rosa may be back soon. I don't care. I mean, part of me, like, when we get the Forbidden Door, like, do I want Stardom involved? Yes, I do. I don't know if I want it that much now because I just don't want I don't want Saraya anywhere near the women of Stardom. Keep her ass away from them. The only two matches you should be trying to book for that show is Jamie Hayter versus Julia or Jamie Hayter versus Utami Hayashishita. That's it. I mean, you can bring in Ruby, not Ruby. No, you can do Toni Storm versus somebody from there. You can do Toni Storm versus, I don't know, who wrestled, who she wrestled. Maya Iwatani. You can bring in Maya Iwatani if you want to do something with her or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. No holds barred match. Jungle Boy Jack Perry taking on Christian Cage. I really want Jack Perry to win here. I do not want this feud to continue. I understand, like I said, probably said it in the review. I don't know if I did or not. Christian Cage, Now I understand the Christian injury kind of postponed the storyline and whatnot. But I really need this storyline to end. I need Jungle Boy to go on to do something else. I need Christian Cage to go on to do something else. Just like I need, there's so many storyline feuds that are on this show that I need to fucking finish, or that I need to have be finished. For example, this whole thing with the Assboys and the Acclaimed. After whoever wins the match on Sunday, move on. Same thing goes with Samoa Joe Wardlow. We'll talk about that. Chris Jericho and Ricky Stark should have ended 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks, 2 months ago actually, when they fucking did this match. I'm over the fucking Saraya shit. Okay, move on. I got Jungle Boy Jack Perry on this. I don't think he needs to be doing anything else after this show with him. Speaking of Wardlow and Samoa Joe, why are we doing this again? This is another match I had a problem with because I had a problem with Samoa Joe winning the title back in the first place. Like, okay, look, Samoa Joe had a phenomenal run as TNT champion. In my opinion, he was doing great shit as TNT champion. The first time before he lost it to Darby Allin. And then they gave it to Darby Allin, which is fine. I like Darby. Darby was having killer matches with Joe, obviously, and Kushida, which was all right. But what was the other? There was another killer match he had with somebody. I forgot who it was. He had a. Who the fuck did he wrestle? It was a great fucking match. Oh my god, who was it? Oh god, why can I not think of his name? Why can I not think of? His name escapes me. Anyways, and then they go back to the Samoa Joe match with Darby Allin, and then they take the title back off of Darby Allin, and they put it back on Samoa Joe just to do this feud again. I'm like, what? And then they tell this whole story with his dad and the hair and all that stuff. I'm like, that's great and all, but why didn't you tell me any of this while y'all were friends before Joe turned on you and took your title? Like, why am I going to care now? Why should I care? I don't. You tell me all of this shit after it's already happened. Now I just don't. Now I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. I guess. I really want Samoa Joe to retain here, but I do think Samoa Joe is going to lose here. I do think Samoa Joe is going to be a focal point on Ring of Honor television going forward because he is the Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Looks like he's going into a program, maybe, depending on how television plays out, because I've seen the spoilers. So give a few minutes ahead here. But it looks like he's going into a program with Mark Briscoe, which should be great stuff. But personally, my heart says Samoa Joe, but my gut telling me Wardlow. So I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. Wardlow wins the TNT Championship. I'm gonna go with all right. Listen, I'll talk about the main event last, even though I don't really care much about it. 2 matches I am looking forward to, though. Trios Championship. The Elite defending their Trios titles against the House of Black. This match is going to fucking slap, and I can't wait. I've been waiting for years to see Buddy Matthews and Kenny Omega tear it up. I've been waiting for years to see Malachi Black when he was Aleister Black tear it up with Kenny Omega. I've been waiting since the arrival of Brody King for the Kings of the Black Throne take on the Young Bucks. And now we're gonna get every fucking combination of that in one match. And it's gonna be great. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see the fucking things that's gonna happen here. Like, oh my god, like a Belts driver gets caught into a fucking black mass or some shit. Oh man, I'm fucking pumped for that. Oh, but I'm going with the House of Black to win here. The House of Black needs something because they've been doing virtually. I know Malachi and Buddy went away for a little bit. Uh, but like, because really thought Malachi was going to win the All Atlantic Championship at Forbidden Door last year. Didn't happen. He was close, but didn't. I was fine with Pac winning because I love Pac, but I think the House of Black should win here. It should be the House of Black. The Elite should go on. And here's the thing: if they're bringing back CM Punk, right? Um, I don't want titles involved with if they're going to do the whole thing with CM Punk and the Elite. Assuming Punk is coming back, I don't want to see the titles involved. Like, I don't think it needs it. So the House of Black needs something. And like, sure, I understand people's the gripe with this feud is there is no actual story. I mean, I get it, but the House of Black are gonna fucking rule with the tag titles because I trios titles. Like we saw them hold the trios titles on tonight's show, um, and they really look great holding those titles. By the way, they look fantastic. Malachi Black. Hey, you know what? If Malachi Black wins the title, it's gonna be like kind of like not his AW run, his NXT run where he came in the first year and then not long afterwards won the NXT title. Now Malachi says he didn't. I get where he's coming from when he said that. He said that he didn't think it was the right time for him to win the title. But I disagree personally because outside of Johnny Gargano, there was no one else face wise to challenge Andrade for the NXT Championship at the time. Because sure, Eric Young was a babyface, but he was doing stuff with Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era, so was Sanity. I mean, they could have done something with Killian Day, but they were doing, Killian Day was the side road part of that whole thing. Drew McIntyre was hurt, so they couldn't do anything there. If they wanted to, Drew McIntyre would probably been the rematch had Drew McIntyre not gotten hurt. His injury wasn't as bad as people thought it was, and so they had to wait until WrestleMania because he wasn't going to be ready in time for that show. It wasn't really a lot of baby. Like I said, outside of Johnny Gargano, there wasn't really any other baby faces that was built up enough to challenge Andrade and Aleister Black was the next person in line because he was like that. He was on this undefeated streak. He was being built up as his credible threat. He wins the title. Didn't have a great reign with it because like his reign became a sideshow project because it was put to the side and it was a background character. A background story, basically, to what the actual story going on was Gargano and Ciampa. And Malachi got involved, and they and they did the whole thing with that, and then Black lost the title to Tommaso Ciampa. Great to see. Not him losing the title, but the way they set it up, all that stuff. And there was obviously the setup, the triple threat, which apparently Black was supposed to win the title back. But then but Black got hurt on a house show. Hurt his groin. But all that stuff there. Anyways, but I'm going on. My point is, the House of Black should win here. Give them the trios titles. Have them go on a tear to face some other trios. Like, you can have the House of Black versus the Elite Part 2. And you know what? I want the House of Black to win here, and then they can continue this feud because they're going to be it would be their first match in their whatever they're going to do, and then you can do spin-off tag matches and think about this. So House of Black win, right? You can do plethora of other matches with these 6 tag matches, singles matches. You can do Malachi and Kenny. You can do Buddy and Kenny. You can do Brody and Kenny. You can do Brody and Matt, Brody and Nick, Malachi and Nick, Malachi and Matt, Buddy and Matt, Nick and Matt. You could do the Young Bucks versus the Kings of the Black Throne, the Young Bucks versus Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews, Young Bucks versus Matthews and Brody. I mean, there's a shit ton of ideas you could go with, and I'm all for all of that. So, but give me a House of Black run with the Trios Championship. The other match I'm looking forward to: Hangman Adam Page, Jon Moxley, Texas Deathmatch. Hangman Adam Page, in my opinion, should win here. Jon Moxley, who was the 2022 male wrestler and overall wrestler of the year for the Misfit Wrestling Podcast of 2020 for last year's 2022 year awards, deservedly so. But this match is gonna be fucking brutal, and I can't wait. I think Hangman's gonna win here. I don't know if Moxley really gains anything from this. I mean, I don't know. That's a tricky one, but I think Moxley is gonna. Yeah, I think Hangman's gonna win here. That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it. Main event: MJF defending the AEW World Title in a 60-minute Iron Man match against Bryan Danielson. Now, personally, I don't think the build has been all that tremendous. Mainly because I do actually think MJF is a one-dimensional character. I do I like MJF, but I don't love MJF like everyone else does. Mainly because I'm over the same fucking shtick with him. You feud with wrestler A. Wrestler A is mid. I'm gonna steal your girlfriend and sleep with her, and then your parents hate you. Your parents are dead, or whatever stupid stick he's gonna come up with. The low hanging fruit that he comes with. You know, your hometown sucks, and it's the same thing over and over again with him. I'm sure the match will be fine. But Iron Man matches in general are not that great. I can only think of maybe 2 that I actually really liked. And that was the 60-minute Iron Man match on SmackDown with Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. And then the one on Raw, I think it was the same year. No, it wasn't the same year. It was the year before that. No, it was the year after that. It was when Benoit won the title, and they did a match with him and oh God, who was it? Triple H. I think it was after WrestleMania, and they did the 60-minute Iron Man match on that show. And I think there was another one that I liked. Find it here. It was in WWE. Triple H and The Rock. There was another one I liked from Judgment Day that year where The Undertaker came back. That was great stuff. That was great. I mean, really, technically, it's an ultimate submission match, sort of. But the Benoit Angle one, the 30-minute one, which went into overtime, that was great. There was another one that was pretty good that I actually the Sasha Bailey one from Takeover Respect, the 30-minute Iron Man. That was great. So there's been some great Iron Woman and Iron Man matches that I really liked. The Fatal 4-Way one on NXT 2 years ago. 3 years ago. That was great. one with Ciampa, Gargano, Cole, and Finn Balor to see who no won the vacant NXT title, because that was after Cross vacated the title. So actually, and the bar versus the Hardys, that was pretty dope too. I think TNA had some other ones I liked. The Kurt Angle Samoa Joe one was great shit. There were some really good Iron Man matches that I liked. The Deonna Purrazzo Joanna Grace match from Emergence was great too. So there's been like some good ones that I've enjoyed. I like. And speaking of Iron Man matches from AEW, the only other one that they've ever had was the 30-minute Iron Man match between Pac and Kenny Omega. I believe it was one of the very last Dynamites to feature fans before the whole Global Bastard happened. So, but MJF, I still think he's going to retain here. I don't listen. I would love to see Bryan Danielson win here, but the G1's coming up, and Bryan Danielson wants to wrestle in the G1. Like, he literally said this. I don't think he gives a shit what Tony Khan wants. I think he's going to wrestle even if Tony Khan says no, he's still going to wrestle. He's still going to want to wrestle the G1. He's probably going to beg to wrestle the G1. But I think the next challenger for MJF for Double or Nothing is going to be Hangman Page. I think that's what they're going to do here. Set that up here, and it's perfect actually if you really think about it here, because this whole saga with Hangman Page becoming the guy started in 2019 at Double or Nothing, the same event when he eliminated MJF to win the Casino Battle Royale to go on to face Chris Jericho at All Out that same year. So their story path was intertwined from the beginning. So it just makes sense. And it makes sense 3 or 4 years later going on here. The main event of Double or Nothing is MJF defending the title against Hangman Page. It's perfect. It's beautiful storytelling if you really think it. It's perfect. So I'm okay with MJF retaining here, and I do think it's going to be MJF and Hangman Page at Double or Nothing, because it just makes sense there. It just makes a lot of sense. But those are my previews and my predictions for AEW Revolution. What do you think is going to happen on the show? Hit the comment section. Write down your predictions. See if you agree with some of my hot takes or not. What match are you looking forward to? What's the least match you're looking forward to? What is your match of the night going to be? What is your least favorite match of the night? What do you think is going to be the match of the night? Think it's going to be the worst match of the night? Do we get a debut? Do we see Switchblade Jay White? No, I don't think he's going to be in AEW. I'm sorry, that ship has sailed for me. But until then, I will see you guys back here for Ring of Honor. I did announce that on the AEW review. Ring of Honor television. I'm going to come back with those. I'm going to start reviewing Ring of Honor show, weekly television starting this week, because they're starting back up with the new era of Ring of Honor, which I'm very looking forward to. And that card for Supercard of Honor looks kind of stacked, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But until then, I've been Matt Lennisett. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you back here for Ring of Honor. Until then, we're out.